What is up, guys? In today's video we have another Inside the Mind style video. I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and decisions as I play in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below one thing you hope to see change most next season. Mine would have to just be the shotgun meta. I hope we go back towards more of like a pump shotty meta. That's just personally what I think is more skillful and kind of more rewarding to me. Probably gonna be going classy courts this game. I don't think I've gone there for one of these videos in quite some time. And it's been my favorite drop spot for pretty much all of Chapter 5 Season 1. And there also is a turtle vending machine there, which is super nice. The turtle event should be ending tomorrow, I think, as of the time I post this video. I think it ends on Tuesday. And so I think when the turtle event ends, these mythics and the vending machines will be removed from the game. But as of right now, I really like landing at a spot with the turtle vending machine, just to be able to get that like super early on in the game and not have to worry about going to the drop. It's not like it's hard to get the drops, but it can be time consuming at times if it doesn't land in a convenient spot. And I just want to get to the mythic POI and the vault as fast as I can. So classy works great for that. Also, the turtle machines have pizza for 100 gold, which is super convenient because it's one of the better healing items. Not going to matter to me as much this game probably, because landing at classy, I should be able to get... Throw this on here. I should be able to get a good amount of shield fish here. But other POIs, or maybe if you have some rough fights off spawn, just being able to get the guaranteed pizza for 100 gold is super convenient. Whether or not you're going to land at an area with a turtle vending machine, knowing where they are can be pretty helpful for that reason. Like if you're ever down or in need of heals later on in the game. One pizza. Same is true of the turtle drops. The drops also drop pizza. And so if I ever need heals, I'm going to be trying to go for one of those or one of the turtle machines. What's fighting that went on over here? No one landed at the house with me, which is odd. But I feel like classy kind of plays pretty split. This guy's EMPing the vending machine, so I'm just going to go on that. It's not the most damage, but it was enough to kind of tip the odds of the auto shotgun fight in my favor. But I was going to say, is classy kind of plays like split. Like you have the house side and you have these courts. Oh, we're going to steal this man's gold too. That's tragic. If you guys didn't know, you could throw EMP grenades at the vending machines and get a decent amount of gold. I think it's like 50 gold per EMP grenade. So about 150 gold per stack of EMPs. Not bad. Might be more than that. I'm not sure. But either way, like I was trying to say, this POI kind of plays split. I feel like when the game first starts, you have two separate kind of fights going on, the people at the house and the people at courts. And if you're able to win your side of that fight faster than the other side, it gives you a pretty big advantage, I think. So like if you can clear house fast and then get on top of it and then hold the court players, it makes your life a bit easier. And then the same is true if you're able to clear courts and then get to the house people while they're still fighting. That's pretty nice. But I definitely prefer to land at the house. I really would not like to land at the courts. Unfortunately, we got no G-Wagon, but I'm going to be on my way. I could carry an additional shield fish, but I would rather just kind of skimp out on that. There might have been a cooler I missed or something, but I'd rather just skimp out on that and get better timing at Lavish and try to get the... not only the medallion, or not only the auto shotgun, but the ability to customize my weapons, which I really like. Some people might not mind it as much. Got fortunate this game in that I got a legendary striker AR with the sight. But if I'm not able to have a sight on my striker AR, I think way lower of it than I do if I do have a sight. Or even like the 2x at grade 1, I'm not the biggest fan of. And then same with sniper attachments. I am pretty picky about my sniper attachments. I really like having the 2x and I really like having angled foregrip. Some people don't mind it as much. They're like better with, like good with any scope, which is awesome. But I feel like I am much better with the 2x and like I said, with angled foregrip as well. So I very much prioritize getting the weapon attachments. But if you don't have a sniper and you don't have a sight on your AR, it's like way harder to be relevant at range this season. These footsteps should belong to a player. I don't think a guard comes from this way. Might be a guard, actually. I thought they were, like, coming around on the outside. But always while fighting these bosses, I'm just more concerned about potential third parties than anything else. Feels bad for that man. Visual audio just, like, completely ruined what he had planned. And he was crouch walking there, but I don't think he crouch walked up to that point. Lots of visual audio. I think at least one of these is a person. Dang. He hit hard. I still think at least one of those is a person. They're moving faster than the guards typically do. And sometimes the guards will, you know, surprise you and be a little bit more active. It is 2 sets of footsteps and there's no fighting going on. So maybe it is just 2 guards. Oh, no, it's definitely a person. Their count is activated. Dang. I wanted to mantle through the window. Alright, GG's to him. It makes me sad that the biggest struggle in that entire fight was just mantling through windows, but it is what it is. That's Fortnite for you. Not really too much to talk about there though. I just caught him reloading, got initial shots on him. Didn't chase him straight up. When I went to chase him, I kind of went an alternate angle to potentially throw him off a bit, and then dashed in front of him with the turtle mythics, and like it's just kind of hard for him to play that fight because of how it started. There is somebody kind of outside. Dang. Okay, perfect. I kind of threw that turret. I wasn't expecting much from it. I just want to kind of delay him from pushing me and maybe, you know, waste some of its time. Like him switching to another weapon and then spraying that turret increases my chances of successfully pushing him more so than if he was just like on the gun he wants to be on, pre-aiming that, you know? And then also I luckily had the flowberry fizz. I could use a little bit to like get my health back up, but also just fly out of there with the zero gravity effect makes that fight likely different than what he anticipates. And just little things like that that could throw your opponent off can be the difference there. I didn't know he had a riot shield and that he was going to play off the riot shield like that, but having the flowberry fizz made that fight a lot easier. Like I was just thinking to use the zero gravity effect just to make it kind of weird and not what he expected, but it also kind of just perfectly countered the riot shield. Also, if I had shockwaves instead of the turtle mythics, there was bunkers in there. You can throw bunkers at the front, and then it will kind of build and protect you or prevent that player from pushing you. And then I could have like shockwaved out and broke through that wall. But I didn't want to do that because since I have the turtle mythic, I can't just like break through the wall with it, you know? And I couldn't just like quickly get out. I would have had to like pickaxe the wall, and then we're basically having the same fight that I would have had anyways. But like bunker into like shockwave out would have like put me to like right here ish, and then we would have been playing that fight like very differently, not stuck in the bunker. And I probably shouldn't have like had that fight with him. It just took us a while to clear that area. Oh shoot, I forgot to drop the medallion. I don't like having the medallions in Zero Build. I have a whole separate video about it, but I think it just, the downside is more problematic than the upside is good, in my opinion, for Zero Build this season. Whether or not people know exactly where you are, just people being concerned about your location and at all times, I think can be pretty problematic. And I have been dropping them since they nerfed them in like December. I still use them in build mode. This is fencing Medallion. I still like using them in builds, but just in Zero Build, the way fights play out, I feel like I'm rarely actually gonna get much healing from the Medallion. And then this player probably just loses this fight because his Medallion. Like as soon as I explain that, I wouldn't have been as concerned about that player's location if it wasn't for Medallions, and he was, you know, getting fought by another player already pretty weak. This card's pretty weak. Like, just not having his location advertised to the entire lobby might have made his game a little bit easier. And it's not like he gained any healing from that Medallion anyway, so he's just dead. I think I'm gonna get out here and dash twice to the top of this hill. It's a fake ninja. There's another car coming, so I'm just gonna dash back to my car because that car coming up on me wants the top of that hill, and then we're just gonna get third-partied by that other lady I was fighting, I think. My car's getting fried, but there's more G-Wagons up here. It's no big deal at this parking lot. I don't know what this guy's doing, though. I thought he was going for the top of the hill. Maybe he's going to go for this Medallion. And there is a Medallion player. Okay, we're just going to let that guy go, I think. But there is a Medallion player coming across the bridge. And the way I look at it, it isn't always the case. Some people kind of view things differently. But I think the more Medallions you have, the better it is. Like I was saying, the downside isn't worth the upside. If you have several, then the upside kind of becomes worth it. And so I'm kind of the mindset that if somebody has one Medallion, they're probably going to go for the other ones. And so with that Medallion circle getting closer, I expect to have them to be coming for this mountain, and we can kind of like play accordingly. Gold Trooper kind of throws a wrench into things. And that kind of damage trade we had wasn't ideal for either of us. He just picked up the fencing Medallion though. Dang, I couldn't see because of that bush. I'm gonna go get a new G-Wagon. Maybe get more pizza slices from that pizza I'd thrown earlier. I wanted third party this fight, but I don't know if they're gonna have it right away. Oh, they are, of course. So I go away and they immediately fight. If I thought they would actually jump on each other, I would have just stuck around. But, it just didn't seem like they were that intent on fighting either of them. This guy's in the bush, I think. We can run it over. Okay, he's leaving. That's a body shot, and he was likely already weak from this previous fight. He's using Fizz. He hits me there. That was insane. GG's to him. Now there's another Medallion player on our right near the Oscar Medallion. Thing. I should have done 3 dashes. When I initially pushed, I thought he was like behind this tree. And so I just did 2 dashes into a slide to try to like land there. But if I had done 3 dashes, then we could have gotten onto like the roof of the building and then gotten there a little sooner when he heals less. But yeah, that was almost went badly. And that's just the power of snipers this season. Like any fight you're in, you can just lose. This guy's gonna go for the Medallions, and at this point he'll have 4. He gets them, maybe gets away. He's very weak. And I will actually take him at this point. Kind of the only time I take them for Zero Build is when I get like 4 at once like that. Or 5 at once. Like when you have just several, I feel like the upside is actually kind of decent. It's when the downside gets worse too. But I if you have several at once, I feel like it maybe is worth having them. And you could argue that, like, if you don't take one when you only have one, or you don't take two when you only have two, you're never going to get that, like, you know, huge upside where you have all of them. And that's true, but I feel like the game kind of plays out differently. Like, I feel like those mid-game fights I just had would have been harder had I had the medallion the whole time. And I wouldn't have been gaining anything from it. So, like, now these end-game fights will be harder. I could also just not take them, and I would be fine with that as well. But these in-game fights might be a little harder with me being broadcasted. But also, I think I've eliminated a lot of the decent players. Like I've talked about countless times. If you play aggro in the mid-game, you tend to eliminate a lot of the more proactive players. Those tend to be the better players, and so now I'm advertising my location to people that I don't expect to be as threatening. I could be wrong on that, and also it just doesn't matter. This guy on this roof could be the worst player on planet Earth, but if he hits a headshot snipe on me, then it's GG's no matter what. Like, things can get dicey this season. Dang, I thought that one was gonna hit a body at least. This guy's leaving. This is a different person. Is there more G-Wagons front lavish? Yeah. Because that first lady I was fighting was a Nike skin. Are they fighting? He's in that bush. There's somebody else here. I wanted to do my jump. I don't know why it didn't let me. Because I had stamina. This is kind of like what I was talking about with the medallions. You can never know how people would play. But I feel like I definitely have been focused more because of these medallions than I would have been otherwise. Like, we just have everybody in the lobby coming to the edge to fight me here. That wasn't the first player. This guy might get, like, overzealous here, though, because I just dropped the medallions. I guess not. I was hoping he's gonna, like, run in and try to get them. And if he did, we would have like a decent angle to maybe start that fight. I want this new G-Wagon over here. Right there was like one of my least favorite things about the Turtle Mythics though. Because I'd seen that, I don't know who that man was, but it's like the Jujutsu Kaisen character. I had seen him, but I wanted to like jump, do my dashes and then a jump to like get more movement, you know? And get to the piece of cover that I wanted to get to, but it just like didn't allow me to do my jumps despite me having stamina. And then that like created a very different situation than what I was like anticipating. And that is kind of the frustrating aspect of these mobility items at times. think there's somebody in that bush. There was like shots over here earlier. Yeah. I could run that bush over, but I think we're pretty susceptible to the other players at that point. Like if we just have a fight right there, I don't think that's ideal. I'm hoping he shoots at something, because if he shoots, we could see where he is. Like where the bullets are coming from, and then you just look where the bullets are. Like ideally for me, he would AR one of those people over there, and then I could snipe him and we could like get deeper in his zone, because he either doesn't exist anymore or just got shot and is like more concerned about that, you know? But that is one of the funny things the bush is for me. I've seen so many clips of people like, there's somebody spraying out of a bush, and then somebody snipes them, and people in the comments be like, wow, this person is clearly cheating. But it's like, if you see where the bullets are coming from, it's kind of easy to predict where that person might be. There's a guy I was fighting earlier, front lavish. And that guy seems decent. This person just sniped from 64 meters. The 1v1 between me and that guy now. Dang. I would have liked for that shot to hit. My car is not going to be usable. We pulled zone though, that's great. This guy is grappler and turtle mythic. So he can get around pretty quick. I haven't seen him in a while. He might not be up on that tower anymore. Oh, he is. Okay, cool. That's like one thing that you got to keep in mind when you're like kind of fixated on somebody like this is like, how old is your information? He's using all his turtle mythics just to get to like mid zone. I don't see where he landed. I hear him over here grapple blading though to my right. He's like in a tree, I think. Oh my god, we killed him with a car explosion. I was just gonna like dash forward and shotgun him. I don't know what he was doing there. That was weird. I feel like that player got nervous or something. Because they seemed like a good player up until that moment, and then they just played in the most questionable way imaginable. Like they just kind of played to do nothing there. I'm not sure. Here, let's go into replay mode. Because I feel like I didn't have to do anything to win that game. The end game, at least. Like, it was kind of all on him. Like, I feel like he lost more than I won. There's also a bug right now where there's, just no, what's it called? Audio and replay mode for some reason. But I think the way this player played this was not good. So, like, it's a 1v1 here. We both see zone at this point. And it's very obvious that I got zone and he didn't. Which isn't the end of the world this season. This player only had 1 kill. But, like, I don't think this player was bad based on what we had seen earlier from them. If it was the same person. But they know they have to go to zone. And that I don't have to go to zone, really. Like, the game is kind of in my hands to lose at this point. But this player wastes their entire time just looking for snipes on me, which I can somewhat understand. If he hits the shot, then it makes his life a lot easier. And that's why I just wasn't peeking very much. Like, I don't have to headshot snipe him when he's on that tower. We don't have to opt into that 50-50 snipe fight. If I can just kind of peek occasionally and keep him there and keep him looking for it, then that's good for me because we're wasting out his clock. But like I had talked about during the game, I hadn't seen him in a while, so I wasn't sure like how relevant that information still was. But once I saw him doing this, I was really happy with my odds of winning the game, because he has double mobility, but he uses his mobility just to go straight into like the center here. And I kind of messed up. I didn't see him like cross. I was looking down in the water for him, but he immediately deploys his grapple blade. And one somewhat advantage he could have on me was the fact that he had double mobility, whereas like I only had single mobility. But his double mobility advantage was non-existent because he uses it all. He uses like his grapple blades to like try to get in the tree. He uses all his dashes. That was when I couldn't find him. He's just hiding behind this tree. But again, I don't need to over peek looking for him. His time is running out. He's got Storm on his back, and the longer this game goes, the better it is for me, because he's eventually gonna have to make a tough decision. And his mobility is coming off cooldown, which is nice, but like using all your mobility like that to get nothing, I feel like wasn't good. And then he tried to get in my car here. My aim wasn't the greatest on these shotgun shots, but I was hesitant to use the AR because I thought he was going to jump out right away. And then once it was kind of obvious to me that he wasn't trying to like car fight me and instead he's just trying to drive away, switch to the AR and beam him. And then it's like really hard for him to win this game at this point. Like, he's so incredibly weak. Even if he doesn't blow up with the car here, like, I could have just dashed on him and shotgunned him. And like we'd kind of already talked about, his mobility wasn't, it might have all been back by then, or a decent amount of it could have been back, but it wasn't in the best state because of the fact that he used it all just to get across the water. If he left that tower a little bit earlier, he would have had more like time to play with, and then also more mobility to play with, because he didn't wait until the last second and then just do dashes. Like, late rotating can be good, but also there's times like that where it kind of leaves the user no real options. But that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. If you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.